Good evening and welcome to State of Business on our television. I'm Nadun Sirivardhana. Let's have a look at the headlines first. China Harbour Engineering Company places its confidence to invest in Sri Lanka. Over 90% who were affected by Ditwa have been assisted. News in detail. The chairman of China Harbour Engineering Company has expressed confidence in investing in Sri Lanka, citing the country's economic stability and policy direction under President Kumara Dissanayaka. CHEC chairman Bai Yin-zan made these remarks during a meeting with President Dissanayaka at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday. According to the President's media division, Bai Yin-zan appreciated the incentives offered to the Colombo Port City Special Economic Zone and commended the economic stability achieved in the country. President Dissanayaka in response reiterated that foreign direct investment remains vital to Sri Lanka's economic growth and assured the government's full support for investors. He said policy stability achieved through agreements with the International Monetary Fund is helping create a more investor-friendly environment. President also reaffirmed the government's commitment to developing the Colombo Port City into a modern economic zone capable of attracting substantial international investment. During the discussion, the President also expressed appreciation for the assistance provided by the CHEC to communities affected by Cyclone Ditwa. The meeting was attended by Labour Minister and Finance and Planning Deputy Minister Dr. Anil Jayantha Fernando, Essential Services Commissioner General and Chief of Presidential Staff Prabhat Chandrakirti, CHEC General Manager Su Bo and other representatives of the company. Nearly 90% of the people targeted under the United Nations Cyclone Ditwa Relief Program have now received assistance, benefiting more than 575,000 people across Sri Lanka. The program sought to mobilize $35.4 million in assistance, of which 75% have been already disbursed to affected communities nationwide. More than 575,000 people affected by Cyclone Ditwa have received humanitarian assistance under the United Nations Humanitarian Priorities Plan, with the successful completion of the program marked at a ceremony held in Colombo last week. Implemented across all 25 districts through 9 key sectors, the initiative reached 87% of its target population of more than 650,000 people. Each affected family received an allowance of 27,000 rupees through divisional secretariats, while temporary shelters and a range of other relief measures were also provided to support recovery efforts. Addressing the meeting, United Nations Resident Coordinator Marc-Andre Frange attributed the program's success to Sri Lanka's swift disaster response and strong political leadership. Commissioner General of Essential Services and Chief of Staff to President Prabhat Chandrakirti said the experience highlighted the value of effective partnerships and reliable data in delivering timely assistance, while reaffirming the government's commitment to strengthening early warning systems and disaster preparedness for the future emergencies. Now, the Sri Lanka Air Force successfully conducted the maiden test flight of its upgraded Kafir C-12 fighter aircraft at SLAF base Katunayaka. Sri Lanka Air Force says it marks a major milestone in its fleet modernization program aimed at strengthening of the country's air defense capabilities and operational readiness. The flight marked the aircraft's transition from extensive ground testing to full airborne evaluation under the Air Force modernization program. Carried out in partnership with Israel Aerospace Industries, the program upgrades 4 Kafir fighter jets and 1 trainer aircraft to the advanced C-12 standard. The enhancements include modern glass cockpit technology, upgraded avionics, and advanced mission systems designed to improve navigation, communication, and combat effectiveness. The Sri Lanka Air Force says the modernized fleet will boost operational readiness and enhance the country's ability to safeguard its airspace, maritime approaches, and territorial boundaries in the face of evolving security challenges. Defense Secretary retired Air Vice Marshal Sampath Tuyakonta and Air Force Commander Air Marshal Bandhu Edirisinghe witnessed the historic test. Stay tuned, we'll return after this short commercial break. Welcome back. More than 200 investors, business leaders and policymakers from across the United Arab Emirates gathered in Dubai this week for a major investment forum aimed at strengthening economic ties and unlocking new opportunities between the UAE and Sri Lanka. Organized by the Sri Lanka Business Council UAE to mark its 35th anniversary, the event attracted 225 participants, including representatives from leading chambers of commerce, business councils and financial institutions. A significant majority of attendees were non-Sri Lankan decision makers, highlighting growing international interest in Sri Lanka's investment potential. Sri Lanka's ambassador to the UAE, Professor Arusha Kure, said that UAE remains Sri Lanka's largest trading partner in the Middle East and encouraged investors to explore opportunities in tourism, information technology, logistics, manufacturing and renewable energy. Delivering the keynote address, Presidential Special Envoy for Foreign Investment and Trade Promotion urged investors to consider Sri Lanka as a destination for long-term investment, while officials from the Colombo port city outlined opportunities available through the landmark development project. The forum concluded with business networking sessions aimed at fostering partnerships and expanding investment links between the two countries. Sri Lanka's marine and offshore services sector has gained valuable international exposure and opened doors to new business opportunities following the country's successful debut at Posidonia 2026, one of the world's leading maritime exhibitions held in Athens, Greece. The Sri Lanka Export Development Board organized the country's first ever pavilion at the exhibition, bringing together 7 local companies representing the marine and offshore industry. They showcased Sri Lanka's expertise in shipbuilding, ship repair, marine engineering, offshore support services, maritime logistics and vessel maintenance. The Sri Lanka Pavilion attracted strong interest from international buyers, shipping companies and industry leaders, enabling participating firms to establish new business connections and explore potential partnerships. The event also offered insights into emerging trends, technological innovations and sustainability initiatives shaping the future of the global maritime industry, further strengthening Sri Lanka's ambition to position itself as a competitive maritime hub in the Indian Ocean. Now, the shares of the banking and finance companies came under mild pressure on the Colombo Stock Exchange following Fitch Ratings assessment of the central bank's new tighter capital treatment for gold-backed lending, which is expected to raise risk weights across the sector. Fitch says the revised framework will have a manageable impact on most banks, but a sharper effect on finance companies, where gold-backed lending makes up a larger portion of loan portfolios. Under the new rules, risk weights have been increased across all loan-to-value bands, raising overall capital requirements. Market data shows financial sector counters were the main drag on sentiment during trading, while the broader market remained largely stable, reflecting contained systematic concerns. Analysts say the update has added short-term pressure on the select listed lenders, but strong capital buffers in the banking sector continue to support overall financial stability. Fitch estimates banks will see only marginal capital impact, while finance companies could face more noticeable declines depending on exposure levels, particularly in high gold loan lenders. Stay tuned for the stock update. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on positive notes today. The All Share Price Index gained by 743.22 points to close at 22,380.65, and the S&P SL20 gained by 192.48 points to close at 6,219.53. The turnover was 4.0 billion rupees and over 205 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. And that's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.